evening. It's just after 6 on August the 11th. I'm Mark McIntyre, Chairman of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. With me are fellow board members Susan Stevenson and Kathy Buxton. With that, we have quorum, so I'm going to motion to open the August 11 meeting for the Southampton Village Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We should be joined shortly by board member Nina Edward Anker and board member Jane Clare is absent tonight. Also with us is our planning director, Alex Wallach, our counsel, Alice Cooley, in the back. We have our recording secretary, Jackie Allen, and Sage Certain is running all things video. Just to note, this is the only meeting we have in August. The next meeting will be September the 8th. And at September 8th, that makes materials due what date, Alex?
It's going to be the Tuesday at noon prior.
On September 2nd?
The second, yeah. Yeah.
I believe it's the 2nd. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead to first thing on the agenda, which is minutes approval from July 28th. Did everyone receive the minutes?
Yes.
Any questions, comments, or corrections?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
As did I. So motion to approve the
I
minutes.
did.
Open. Pardon?
I did make a few,
You did, and then we got corrected versions.
yeah, so I
Okay.
don't have any more corrections.
Okay.
Right, let's move ahead.
So motion to approve the July 28 minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have no written decisions tonight. We have a couple of adjournment requests. We have an adjournment request for East End Holdings at 3840 and 42 Jobs Lane to September 8th. So a motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 3840, 42 Jobs Lane to September 8th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We also have a request for 310 First Neck Lane LLC at 310 First Neck Lane to September 8th. So a motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 310 First Neck Lane to September 8th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. We have no carryover matters and no new matters. So our first matter, which we can address, is the demo evaluation for 11 Henry LLC. Mr. Kleinger?
Dear members of the board, Michael Selensky, law firm, 60 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York, 11976 for the applicant. Hi, how are you? You guys are in receipt of
We are.
Mr. Studenroth's report. It basically says it all. I can answer any questions if you have it. But other than that, I think the report speaks for itself.
Okay. Board members, any questions?
No.
I have no questions. So then I'm going to motion that we do not seek landmark status for 11 Henry Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next up is the estate of Marcia Von Muffling at 32 Ox Pasture Road for reclassification. Do you have the affidavits and are they in order?
Yes.
Okay. And before we start, I want to give you one note. We're going to listen to the application tonight, but we have sent this out to our historic consultant for our own report, so we will not be voting on this tonight. Okay? If you'll introduce yourself for the record,
Sure.
please.
Good evening, board members. I'm Liz Vale. I'm with the law firm of Greenberg Traurig. We're at 2317 Montauk Highway in Bridgehampton. Here tonight on behalf of the applicant. I'm also here tonight with our historic expert, Dr. Emily Cooperman. She's the senior architectural historian at PSNS, and also Kyle Toth. He's our principal investigator for architectural history and cultural resources at PSNS, and they should be on Zoom, hopefully.
Okay.
And then also in attendance is Douglas Wright, the architect working on the proposed new house, to review the proposed single-family residence and accessory structures with the board. The applicant specifically seeks to demolish the existing structure at 32 Ox Pasture Road, which is actually not a contributing historic structure, and replace it with a new single-family residence and accessory structures. So first, if Dr. Cooperman is online. Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask her to present her findings and her report to the board. Then I'd like to follow up with some legal points, and then we'll have Mr. Wright present
Okay.
his application.
Just one point. It is currently, from the Southampton Village perspective, it is listed right now as a contributing resource. Yeah. Okay. That's
Right.
its
But
current
we'll be
status.
referring to your 2009
Yeah.
survey, which
Right.
actually removed it from the list.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Hello?
Good evening. Good evening to the board and to members of the public. Thank you for hearing our presentation tonight. I am going to share a PowerPoint and move it through it in an expeditious fashion so that I will not take up too much of your time. And I'll take me a moment to get this set up. And I hope that it will be the right screen, which is always, okay. Are you seeing the PowerPoint?
Yes.
We are. Thank you.
Okay, very good, thanks. Just before we start, a couple of words about myself and my colleague Kyle Toth, who is with me tonight. We both have looked at this matter extensively, and we will both be making comments. I'll be taking the lead in the presentation, and he will also be following up. Mostly in case there are things that I've forgotten, which does happen. I am an architectural and landscape historian and historic preservation consultant. I've been in practice for over 35 years, and I specialize in historic designations and analysis of historic significance. I have designated properties ranging from small individual buildings to large historic districts and National Register nominations, and as well as local designations and National Historic Landmark nominations. So what you are going to see tonight is based on quite a long period of experience in analyzing historic preservation ordinances as well as historic significance and the rules that go with that. So, okay, with that we'll start. All right. I think I'm going to start off with, I think, one of the most important pieces of information, which is that in 2009, when Zachary Studenroth resurveyed the historic district, he identified a group of buildings that included, there were 20 that had been surveyed in the original survey in 77, 79, and the property at 32 Ox Pasture Road is one of those, as well as 29 additional properties. So what you're seeing is, as you can guess, a screen grab of text from the report itself that identified a group of buildings that were to be removed from the historic contributing status to the district because of their the extent of changes and that led to the loss of integrity. And this is the list from that report, which is unfortunately, I couldn't give you a page number because the report is actually unpaginated. But in the group of the properties that were surveyed in 77, 79, prior to the listing of the district itself a few years later, among them was the property at 32 Ox Pasture Road, which here is identified as the White Carriage House. It was actually never historically associated with the White family property, and I'll show you some, so that's a minor error, but fundamentally we absolutely agree with the removal of the property from the historic district contributing status because of the altered, as you can see here, which is what Zachary Studenroth found in 2009. To give you an aerial graphic representation of this, the changes to the building have been extensive, and this gives you a pretty good picture of that. The changes that occurred in 1969, before the building was inventoried for its potential inclusion in the district, are identified in gold, and that includes a carport up in the upper left, which is the northwest, an entrance porch, which is toward the middle on the north elevation, so north is at the top here, and a new dormer, and what's kind of hard to see is a little rectangular form on the ridgeline, which was a completely new chimney. The changes that occurred in 1980 were even more substantial, and they obviously were not captured by the 1979 inventory record because it occurred a year later. No surprise. Another graphic representation, this is a view of the north elevation. So this is the view, this is the elevation that you see from Ox Pasture Road with the same color coding. And then the same thing here with the south elevation, the side away from Ox Pasture Road, with the extensive changes to the fenestration and the additions that were made in 1969, as well as the alterations and the really major addition that took place in 1980, with then further alterations to that portion of the building in 89. Just a reminder, this is the view of the property from Ox Pasture, and what you can see in this image is that what you see, and this is obviously, this is the winter, so the leaves are all off. So this is more or less the maximum view you get from Ox Pasture. What you see is that 89, a big addition, and the chimney that was added in 69, that's on the left side of the screen, a very small sliver, really a dormer and roof line of the building that was moved to this site in 1969, and then the garage carport, which you can just see over the hedge over there on the right. I'm going to run through a brief history, because one of the things that I know from having started to do these kinds of surveys back at the beginning of my career is that the amount of research that is normally done for these surveys has really changed over time because of the availability of digitized historic sources, which really are, I mean, in the olden days when I started doing this, we would go out and we would make a visual assessment, and we would look, generally speaking, at one or two maps, and that wasn't deficient. That was the standard. That was standard practice. And that's exactly what happened in 77, 79. There are a couple of maps that are cited. 1916 comes to mind most effectively, but now we have access to much greater resources in terms of historic sources that we can look at. So I begin with the 1873 Beers map detail from page 187, showing the general area. So that the diagonal road that's going through there is Ox Pasture, and the little red circle is the approximate location of where the 32 Ox Pasture Road lies today. The earliest map documentation shows that obviously this area was sparsely developed. It was farms. I'm sure that you, as members of the
I'm just
board,
going to step in here for 1 second and ask you to remember that it's the board's job to read through the materials that you've sent. So if you could just top lines this for us, not go into too much detail, that would be great.
Very good. I will summarize. So just to remind you, I know it's a very dense report, so I'll try to summarize as best I can. I understand. Believe me, I am the chair of the Historic Designation Committee for the Philadelphia Historical Commission, and I understand how much time and effort this takes us on board.
I appreciate that. Top line, please.
I will make sure that I give you all the information for the record and move as expeditiously as I can. So Holbrook buys the lot in 1888. Our research into many digitized sources indicates that he was summarizing in other portions of Southampton. He may have been at what is now Hampton Court, but we don't. There is no documentation that he was there before 1897, when there's a newspaper article, and that's when the name first appears in print. We don't get documentation of the building and buildings in maps until 1902, and that's what you see here. So where the red arrow is the building that would in 1969 be moved to the 32 Ox Pasture Road property. A couple of things to note here, which I didn't point out in the report. All of the the buildings with crosses on it. On the top are secondary structures, so you see all of the sort of agglomeration of secondary structures on the Charles White property adjacent, and then secondary structures on the larger summer homes that you see to the south and east. I would note the contrast in scale between the Curtis secondary building and the larger ones on the buildings, the properties such as the Manus property to the southeast. My point being is that it's pretty small it would be too small to be a stable. It might be a storage building for carriages, which is the way it appears in the inventory, but it equally could also have been an early garage. In 1916, I would note that the only real change here is the fact that there was a fire hose storage building that's been built on the White property in what is a portion of now the 32 Ox Pasture Road property. And the first Sanborn map is from 1916. It is the most detailed map to date. I think one of the things that you probably noticed in the earlier map is the fact that Hampton Court at this date is a really pretty modest building, surprisingly, but it is. And in 1916, the building in question, what is to become the 32 Ox Pasture building, is identified explicitly as a auto house. That's what that means, meaning a garage. In 1926, the building, the Hampton Court house has begun to be added to by Holbrook and Josephine Curtis's daughter, Marjorie, who inherited it and who married T.A. Chadbourne. So briefly, Holbrook dies in 1920, as I mentioned, his wife Josephine in 27. It's then inherited by his daughter Marjorie. The property is then later owned by Arthur Duryea Cree and then Ralph I. Strauss. The building is moved to the adjacent property in 1969 from Matilda Day Strauss, who was the ex-wife of R.I. Strauss, although they had divorced in 1962. This is where the building is in 1962. That's the location it's going to be moved to. I think one of the things to be noted here, and one of the things that we were not able to determine from either our research or looking at the building, is where cars or carriages or whatever vehicles would have entered the building. You don't see a clear path here in this early historic aerial. It may be that the owners that Mr. Strauss was using a different part of the property to house cars, a garage that was in a different location. This may have been used for storage or something else. It's hard to say, but there's no clear indication of where cars would have gone into the building. This is a survey that's in the village's records showing the planned move, which was in fact took place, and the arrow that you see, sorry, I apologize for the quality it is a 1969 arrow from historicareals.com that shows the building having been moved and the earth was extensively disturbed around it. In the move, these three secondary volumes were moved, or were removed, and replaced as part of the alterations to the building in 1969. These are probably entrance porches, although I'm not sure what the one on the right in the moved building is. It's sort of hard to tell because it's kind of small, but I suspect the other two were entrance porches. This is one of the drawings.
This is drawings that are similar to the drawings you started with the presentation, correct? Because I think we're aware of what these are, so if we could top line, that would be great.
These are slightly different. This is 1969, and these are the drawings from 1969. What I showed you was a current aerial photograph. So this just shows you that where the alterations were made in 1969. and the extent of alterations, which includes the carport, the new entrance porch, and a new chimney. On the south elevation, it is, as you saw earlier, the extensive new windows, and the carport, a new dormer, and the chimney. The red changes are, and I'm not going to repeat myself,
Yes.
because you clearly want
We
me to
appreciate that,
continue.
yes.
And you want me to hurry, so I'm going to try to get through my points as quickly as I can and not skip over them.
Remember that we
and
have read
that
this,
I
but go
will-
ahead.
I'm sorry?
Remember that we are responsible for having read this, but go ahead.
I appreciate that, and I hope you have. So I will not reread this because you have this in the report, but these are the changes that occurred in 1969. Matilda Day Strauss Thompson, as she was then, dies in 78. The property is purchased by Marcia von Mifflin. The inventory takes place in 1979, and then the large additions and alterations were completed after the inventory, as I noted earlier. And the district, I believe, was not resurveyed until 2009. And as noted at the top, and as I hope you have reviewed the Student Roth survey from 2009, it was removed from historic resource status in the database that Student Roth created. So this just shows you another aerial with the pre-1980 edition and the post-1980 edition. Just to remind the board, I know you're familiar with this, but for the sake of the public.
This is where, isn't this where you started?
No.
Okay.
It is, I did start here, but I did not make this point. So I'm going to continue from here. Yes, this was a quote that I included, but what I'm going to do is, for the sake of those who are not familiar, because it's a complicated concept, the point of, and it is included, as you know, in your ordinance, the concept of integrity is a crucial component of designation, because a property may be significant, but it has to represent its significance. And there are 7 aspects of integrity, not all relevant necessarily to the significance of each property, but the loss of integrity means that a property, even if it has some historic significance, is not eligible for designation either at the National Register level or under your ordinance, as you know. And to finish this particular point, 32 Ox Pasture has lost its integrity of location because it's been moved, its integrity of design because it was reoriented from its original orientation, and it has had extensive alterations and additions. It has lost its historic setting because its historic setting was as part of the Hampton Court property. It has again also lost integrity of workmanship because of the extensive alterations, as well as materials, and feeling because it no longer retains its sense of being a secondary estate building. It looks like something different today, and it is no longer associated with the historic property where it started its life. So, to conclude, the original inventory was done in a period with access to few historic research sources, which is in 1979. And a year after that was concluded, that was the property had a very major alteration addition. This wasn't recognized until 2009, as I've said, and that was removed the property from the database of historic resources in the district. And as you no doubt will have figured out, we concur with that analysis because of the loss of integrity. And because it's a secondary building, it's not a primary, it was never the primary building of a property. And with that, I'm going to ask my colleague Kyle Toth if there's anything that he would like to add.
No, Emily, I think you've summarized our findings pretty thoroughly, and I would just voice my concurrence as well with the loss of integrity for the property.
Okay, thank you.
So just
So
to,
we are finished our
Yes, thank you.
presentation. Obviously, we're available if you have questions.
Great, thank you.
Dr. Cooperman. So just in summary, I think this board needs to appreciate that this was actually reclassified. I know you said it was listed, but your 2009 survey was conducted, an entire survey of all the historic structures in the village were resurveyed in 2009 in the 4 historic districts. And in doing so, in preparing that survey, data sheets were reviewed for individual properties, sites visits and walking tours were conducted to reaffirm the status of all contributing structures within the boundaries of the district. Current photographs were taken of each property. Significant alterations were noted. Field notes were compared with Southampton Village Building Department records. And structures that were substantially altered since 1979 were tagged and removed from the list. Again, which 32 ox pasture was removed from that list. The survey specifically stated that resources were removed from the database due to, quote, extensive alterations. In most cases, this signifies substantial increases in mass and footprint, resulting in a loss of architectural integrity, unquote. So although we were told that we had to be here to delist or remove this structure from its designated contributing resource status, we actually don't, because you already did that in 2009 when you did your village-wide extensive survey. And our position is legally as such now, your board cannot, after having relied on this 2009 survey, to add numerous additional structures throughout the village as contributing historic resources and making determinations of certificates of occupancy over the years on those properties, turn around and refuse to acknowledge the 2009 survey for 32 Ox Pasture Road. That would be entirely arbitrary and capricious, and we'll certainly defer to your counsel to explain that to you with regard to the import of your removing this as a contributing historic structure in 2009. So we do object to having another report done when this was based on a comprehensive survey of the entire village and with such extensive review. Specifically, we were asked if we could have internal review of the house, and we would specifically object to that, given that I did review the code and I can't find anything that allows the board or authorizes the board to review the insides of structures. So in response to your email today at like 3 o'clock, I just wanted to say that for the record.
Okay,
Okay?
Allison,
And with that, we have Mr. Wright here to present his
before we do that,
proposed architecture.
before we move on to that, let's discuss the matter at hand for a minute.
Sure.
Alice, do you have anything you'd like to add or any comments to make?
I certainly agree with Ms. Vale that we can't require access to the interior of the house. As for what is contributing, that is the board's determination. So I think the board should review the file and confirm whether or not that determination was ever made by the board. The survey is, of course, important, and it's important data, but the board needs to make sure that they're making the correct decision on something that at least at one time was a contributing resource.
Okay. Board members, any questions for where we are right now? Okay. Whether a building is in the historic district or not in a historic district, when we look at the age of the building, and right now this building is listed for sale, and it says in the real estate listing, it says year built 1916. But regardless, we always have our own historic consultant review anything that's asked for any. So, you know, we would be remiss in the work that we do to rely solely on the reports that are given us by an applicant that has a weighted interest in the decision.
Right.
So we for inside or outside the historic district, we always reach out. The good news is our historic consultant is Zach Studenroth.
Right.
So Zach, since you're relying on his determination, will also be the person coming forward with his independent report on behalf of the board to tell us what his position and is, having reviewed what your position is, and then from that information the board can make a decision. I think
Okay.
that's the way to be fair to the village.
The only other thing I wanted to add was that the majority of the structure was actually constructed in 1969 and 1980 as of this date, and I don't really believe there's anything left with respect to the quote capture period. And here I'd rely on the Bliss case, Bliss versus Village of Southampton Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation, Second Department, dated March 26, 2025. where the court stated, quote, "There's nothing in the legislative history to show that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Southampton was concerned with protecting a structure built in the late 1970s for the reasons set forth by the board. Instead, the legislative history of the Village Code, former 65-5B, evidences that the trustees intended to protect the historic architectural character of structures built decades, even centuries prior to then." And here again, the majority of the structure was constructed in 1969 with the first addition that converted it from a garage, reoriented it, moved the structure from its original location, and then again, a larger addition which more than doubled the footprint and the massing of the structure in 1980. So I just wanted to make sure that was on the record as well. And
Okay.
then we can turn it to Mr. Wright.
Okay.
Thank you.
Zach
right.
had asked for that inspection to be able to verify what was added to the site. He said that.
Yeah,
he would
generally,
be-
people asking for something significant like this allow us to go into the structures, use some of the interior observations to help support the exterior, but if you choose not to, you can choose not to.
Thank you.
Why are we letting him present? Why don't we wait to get the report?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to ask you to present quickly because we can't actually vote on it tonight. But you can just, for the purpose of the public, if when someone asks us to do either a demolition or something in a historic district, one of the requirements is we also, at the same time, understand what the considered replacement would be for the structure that's under consideration. That's code. So Mr. Wright's here to, because that's part of code, to present quickly what that is. We will not be voting on it tonight because we haven't taken into consideration the demolition, but he's here. And I think the fair thing to do is go through, top line what your consideration plans are.
You've already seen all these sheets, so I
Yeah.
can go through it very quickly. I'm ready to answer any questions you may have. I find the larger sheets always a little more helpful.
The one thing I am going to ask is that you sit down so they can capture on the microphone.
Oh,
So
sorry.
people need to hear you on Zoom. Thank you. And if you will lay that flat, so the camera,
Oh, okay.
so the camera can pick it up.
I
for
forgot
us,
about
yes.
that part of it, right. Okay. So I will unclip these.
And you actually need to flip it.
Turn
You
it
can flip
around.
around and face you.
Okay.
We make it easier on you so you can see what you're presenting, and then it
can.
comes up to the camera.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, is that?
There we go.
Okay. So this is the site plan, of course. At the top of the sheet is north, and that is the location of Ox Pasture Lane. It has shifted the entry to the side of the garage, and you can see the two-story residence and the garage and the pool house and pool. And obviously, lot lines and setbacks, both accessory and main building, are indicated. The first floor plan.
Because we don't have purview over the interior, only the exterior, let's
Right.
just go directly to the exterior. Thank you.
Okay. So the roof plan orienting the two-story portion, the one-story portion. This is the front elevation of the building. This is the center front door, double height stair hall, open porch at the end, the back entrance, the one-story portion, two-story portion. It's actually a double gable, recalling one of the other houses on Ox Pasture by John Russell Pope. This is an east elevation, backyard, front yard, Ox Pasture. This is the south or rear elevation. Ox Pasture would be on the other side. This is to the backyard. One-story portion, two-story portion. This is the west elevation. These are the diagrams showing how the building fits into inside the pyramid law diagram. You can see it fits well within.
Yeah, I think you're well within it.
Yeah. Pool house elevations, and then the garage elevation, because just that didn't fit on the sheet at this scale. That's an extra pyramid law, and then the perspective of the house In line with many other structures in the historic district, it was thought of as a white painted shingle house with a natural cedar shingle roof, brick chimneys, a brick base, classical Doric columns, some shingle patterns, and belt courses in white painted trim where appropriate.
Great. Board members, any comments on the proposed architecture for tonight?
I mean, it seems like a very, very large window in the facade and the stair, well, which, right?
Yes. That would be my one comment. One thing that we've been very careful about is well-lit stairways that face forward. And this one seems to be another example of that because the potential, even when houses are set back, the potential for light pollution and forward glare from houses is the one thing that we're really paying attention to. So
Okay.
that's one caution I would say. My feeling is overall it's a handsome house. That's the same note that I had when I took a look at it. It's a large property. It's it's a well-designed house. That's what I would tell you for now. Nina or anybody?
Yeah,
any other
well,
comments?
I think it's sort of a tower, a turret. What do we got here with the big windows?
The stair, yeah.
Yes, but doesn't it?
It also, yeah.
Well, it's attached
It's an
to the
attached,
main.
okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's
So
attached to the
I think
main
it
house.
just overwhelms what is a stately facade. It interrupts it, actually. So I wouldn't be, and also, I'm the dark skies girl, so
Okay.
I'm very conscious of what's being projected out from your house. So that's my comment.
Nina, any comment?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would also just make a small comment that the rendering there shows the arch slightly more subtly portrayed than the way it is portrayed in the drawn elevation, where it almost seems like there's receding brickwork, which might seem a little overpowering in the north elevation.
Right, to the right of the
front
turret
elevation.
windows.
So
Right.
I would almost match the two and make the,
What is that?
It's
it
really,
shingles?
it's just patterned shingles.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
so
I
it's,
Just make them lighter line weight or something.
okay, okay,
Because it
sure.
seems like they're receding bricks or something.
No. It's all, and in fact, that projecting part, you can see on the plan, I know that's not under your purview, but it's really just a shallow, it's about 3 to 4 feet deep. It's a shallow projection, but it is just painted shingles, so we'll render that differently.
Okay. Are there any comments from the public? No. Okay, so we're going to adjourn this.
I just want to make sure the board has the 2009 report in its record. I'm sure you do, because it's a village document.
Is it in the file?
It should.
In your submissions?
I don't know if it's in the submissions, but it's.
I don't
it's a village
remember that from
document.
the submission, so we may have to distribute that to the board.
I just want to make sure you had a copy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to motion at the chairman's request to adjourn the application for 32 Ox Pasture Road to September 11th in anticipation of receipt of a historic analysis from Zach Studenroth.
8th.
I'm sorry, September 8th from Zach Studenroth. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us to carryover meetings non-historic. The first up is Village of Southampton Diamond Communications, 25 Windmill Lane.
I thought this was adjourned. Did they ever give us what is the base? I don't have, I didn't.
Hello, if you'll introduce yourselves.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Robert Gaudioso with the law firm of Snyder & Snyder on behalf of the applicant.
My name is Tom Vineski from Diamond Communications.
Okay. I believe the last time you were presented, we were asking for renderings of what it looked like for the base, and we wanted some more information about how it was going to be screened or concealed from public view.
Yes.
So if you go through that, that would be great.
Sure. And just if I may take one moment, please, Mr. Chairman, to bring you up to speed about where we've been and procedurally where we're at. We did appear before the planning board a number of times, and pleased to report that they did issue a negative declaration finding no significant adverse environmental impacts. We also appeared before the zoning board, and I'm pleased also to report that they granted the special use permit and the variances that were required in connection with the facility. Since the last time you've seen us, we submitted a number of different documents back on June 30th, and just to run through those, and some of them are not relevant, but I just wanted to make sure that we addressed them because there may have been some public comment or some questions about it. We did submit an alternative site analysis and coverage analysis, a revised structural report, a SHPO concurrence confirming there would be no adverse effect on historic properties. We submitted a number of engineering memorandum explaining why the technology was appropriate. And then specifically with respect to your questions and requests, we did submit additional visual renderings focusing on the base of the facility. And we submitted revised site plans, and I'll just want to go through a couple of the highlights on what was revised based on some of our discussions. We added a fully detailed compound and elevation drawing for the board's consideration. We revised the fencing plan, and as you may recall.
Shouldn't they be showing
Yeah,
these?
do you have copies
Where's
of this
your
to show the public?
drawings?
Sure, we can certainly pull that up.
Yes, would you do that, please?
Absolutely.
I just need to be added to share.
You have to, we're not the Wizard of Oz.
That's a sage question.
Would you like to start? Let's go to the compound plan, if that makes sense. That's the way that shows the vast majority of the changes. So this is the compound plan, and what we did is we significantly increased the landscaping. So each one of those circles are 21 different evergreens, and what we did is the back portion of the fence on the back side of the compound was a chain link 8-foot tall fence. We've changed that now to a board-on-board fence, both on the back side and on the sides of the compound, and we've lowered the height from 8 feet to 6 feet.
So out of 124 feet, you're shading 6 feet?
Well, this is for the base of the facility.
Yeah, how tall is the base?
I'm sorry, when you say the base. So if you look on the elevation drawing,
Yeah,
in
I've
the
looked at
front,
these things, it's,
sure.
you know. Yeah, go ahead.
In the front of the facility, looking in from Windmill Lane,
Yeah, you have trees.
there's an 8-foot fence in the back of the property. We're proposing to take out the shelter and the burn pit that's there, and we're proposing to screen the front side of the facility, so that would be the view there, with a black vinyl coated fence with slats. The equipment will be below that and behind that fence, and then on the hill behind that, holding back the hill, will be a retaining wall made out of natural stone block to replace what's there now. And then on top of the hill will be the board-on-board fence and the landscaping, both in front of the fence from the Windmill Lane side and on the back side of the fence. So what we're doing is we're sandwiching the fence with the evergreen screening. And that is one of the criteria of the special permit, which the zoning board ultimately approved, is the sandwiching of the fence and the requirement for the fence and the landscaping that's been proposed.
Do we have a copy of
Do we have a copy of that?
This one?
the other board's requirements? I mean, we should.
Well, it's the
No.
code requirement, if I just may finish, it's the code requirement that requires that the fence be sandwiched with the landscaping. That's under the village code requirement. And then what happened last week is the village zoning board approved that plan as part of the special permit process. Subject to, we still have to go back to the planning board, obviously, for site plan approval. But what I'm saying is that the special permit criteria for this type of facility, which is a special code section of the village code, lays out the different type of landscaping that ought to be used, and that's what we matched
For cell
here.
towers specifically?
Correct.
Okay.
And what we added since the last time we were here were the additional viewpoints. So we added the 4 different viewpoints, one from the parking lot in the back of the movie theater,
Yep.
one from Windmill Lane, and then 2 adjacent to the building on the left-hand side, one looking up the alley and one a little further down. And I think those were the specific viewpoints that were requested at our last meeting. And those are what Tom is scrolling through.
Great.
We have them both as part of the site plan, we attach them, but also as a separate package in the filing that we made.
Board members, questions, comments?
So, and it's painted white?
The pole itself is proposed to be galvanized, so that way it patinas.
Yeah?
It's gray. It's a
It's
gray
what?
It's
color.
basically a gray
Gray.
color, an off-gray color.
And there are lights on it?
There are no lights.
No lights.
Okay. And there's nothing hanging from those?
Well, there are the village's emergency service antennas, which come off the top of the pole on the sides.
Uh-huh. Do we have a picture of that?
Sure, we
Yeah,
can,
there's one in the package.
that's
Okay,
in the
I
package, but
don't-
we could also show it on the site plan if we want
I'd
to go
like
back
it
to
on
the
the
site
record.
plan
Okay.
detail on that.
People are curious about how this is, yeah,
Sure.
those things.
So at the very top is the lightning rod,
Oh, yeah, you have to have that, I guess.
and then just below that are the antennas that are proposed as
Right.
part of this application, which are the village's antennas. And then we showed a future worst-case scenario build-out of the facility.
Of 4.
Correct.
So the village only has the first one?
That's correct.
Uh-huh. And those are, well, I've seen this elsewhere, never mind.
Okay.
Question, comment?
No.
Nina, question or comment? I do have one question. Is there an alternative to a black vinyl fence facing Windmill Lane?
Sure.
And what would that be?
Well, it
Because
could
what
be,
my original thought would be, because right now when you drive down Windmill, I look, because you're like, if I'm at Chippy's, I look across, I've got a fire station here, I've got a parking lot, then I see greenery, and then above I see the theater, and now I'm coming down Windmill Lane, I see the fire department, a historic building, and I look back and I see a massive black fence.
Sure.
So the same way we've screened at the top of the bank, is there a way that we can screen at the bottom so where it's not as industrial looking in this part of the village?
Sure. So it's a good question. So the viewpoint that I think you're referring to is this viewpoint, and it is a
No.
rather limited viewpoint, but we do appreciate the comment.
You
And
mean this, you mean this
We
one?
mean
Correct.
this one.
Yeah.
We can't see that well, because I don't know why the screen is so dark, but.
Would
it's
it be
either-
possible to make it cedar?
This one.
We-
You see this, you know? which-
I know which one you're talking about.
Just a
we can
cedar
shift over
fence,
to
a
that one.
wooden
Yeah.
cedar fence? Is that possible?
Yeah, the reason we went with the black vinyl is because it's a little bit taller in order to screen the equipment that's behind it.
Well, cedar can be any
And
length.
because it does have a rolling gate in the back to be able to be functional, to be able to provide access to the
You can
facility
keep the same
itself.
form and function, I'm just wondering if it could be made out of a different material.
We don't have any objection to that,
Yeah,
right?
no.
We have no objection to that.
Yeah, I think.
We could do the board-on-board cedar. I don't think that's a
Make
problem.
another planting, you can't make a planting bed in front of it and landscape in front.
they
Is
can't
there-
get in
It's
and
in
out.
the parking lot at that
Oh,
point.
got it.
The fire trucks
They
are
can-
turning in that
They
area.
can do with a little less, now I'm joking, yeah.
I guess my feeling
Yeah.
is in the black vinyl, it looks more akin to an industrial park
Park.
than it
Or
does
an
to this part of the
army
village.
base.
I think we were
Base.
trying to do something that would disappear into the background with the darkness of it, but
Well, it
if we
doesn't.
left the,
During
if
the
we left
daytime,
the
don't they have a
cedar
big black
fence,
fence?
It's not fair to the people who.
it's also sliding, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but
Right.
you could get, you know, they put men on the moon how many years ago? They can get a sliding cedar fence.
no,
simply.
we were definitely trying
It's
to
better, but it's still weird.
let it blend into the background, but also be functional. But if the preference were for the board-on-board fence,
Maybe
similar
it's
to
a
the other
better-
fence,
I think the preference would be for a material that's more akin to
sure.
The historic.
historic and
village.
also an area that's adjacent to, not far away
There
from
we go.
residential areas.
Sure.
I think it would blend in better.
A weathered gray, because it would blend in with the concrete.
Yeah.
We don't oppose that
It doesn't
that
have a
suggestion.
battery?
Would the entire fence be gray or just the front?
Just natural
let it
cedar.
weather gray.
They weather.
Weather gray, yeah.
Weathered.
You know,
Yeah, let it weather
isn't
gray.
that what we've got back in the other places?
Yep.
Okay, we should I think consistency is quite helpful when you're building in a
Yeah.
thing that nobody wants to look at, frankly. It just make it seem more like it
And also,
belongs there.
yeah, and since you've got the wood fence that I can see at the line above it,
Sure.
having those two things be consistent, I think would make it also look better.
Okay, not a problem.
And I know you took the zoning board through this, but could you just go over the wall material, the finish and the
Sure, we have
color there?
we have a specification of that, so it's a block wall, and it's an earth tone. It will be behind that fence, but that would
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
and that
What?
would be behind the fence. That's the retaining wall, but that's behind the fence.
How tall is that?
That's approximately 10 feet tall.
So
Oh my
it's going to
goodness.
show.
No, it's the height of the existing bank right now.
Yes.
Right
Wait
now,
a minute.
if you go to the back of the movie theater parking lot, it's 10 feet higher than this.
That's
This
right.
is the retaining wall is it current or you're replacing it?
So there's
Oh, there is a retaining
Yeah.
wall?
there's
Yeah,
a there's
remember,
a building and there's a
Drops.
fire pit there. That's
Because, you know,
basically a retaining
when you
wall.
go to the
I
theater,
really
you-
don't spend that
remember when you
much
go to-
time in the back of the.
When you go to the theater on the side,
Yeah,
you know,
it's parking
you know, you have
It's
to drive up that long
fairly
drive to get to the
overgrown
theater
right now.
parking lot from the side.
Okay, well,
We have a
that's,
photograph from the
that's
to-
really pretty ugly.
yeah,
Is
that'll
that
be
the
behind
choice?
that'll
Is
be
that the
behind
only
the fence.
choice? I mean,
It's
I don't
behind a
know.
fence.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's behind a fence?
Correct. It's either behind the fence or it's
But the
below
fence
the grade.
isn't 10 feet tall, correct?
But it's below grade.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
so
below
from the other
grade.
direction,
Okay.
it's below grade.
I mean, we really don't want to make it, we want to make it look as good as you can make it look. It's really important.
No, we appreciate that.
It's in a
Yeah.
space where people, where our village depends on us to hopefully not make the village look worse. How's that?
Absolutely.
Current conditions.
So that's what we're trying to
So it
do.
seems to me that
And to accommodate you.
it seems to me you have sort of agreement if you're agreeing to change the fence to natural cedar material with the rolling gate.
Yes,
To where you have,
yes.
and that would require you to, you know, bring us back drawings showing us that. But in the meantime, are there any comments from the public?
Yes. No?
Okay. So with that, then I'm going to move to approve the application for Village of Southampton Diamond Communications as presented
But you're
what?
you're approving?
What?
Mhm.
With the understanding?
With the,
what
with
is-
the stipulation, or do you think
She
we're
thinks
better
we
off
have to
waiting till
wait.
we see the updated drawings?
Are you building this tomorrow?
We're
What about-
trying to build it as
They
quickly as
don't have site
possible.
plan approval.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they don't have site plan approval?
No.
I don't believe that. I thought the plan was to come here first, and then the planning board
Well, but it
would adopt
it
your incorporate
impinges.
your conditions.
Well, but that, okay, never mind.
I think what
Explain
you,
it.
I
We
think
can
what you
wait.
understand is this board feels with the change that it's appropriate.
Mhm.
But I think what Alice is saying, we should adjourn it until we've actually seen the drawings, that it's not slowing you down because you've got to go to other board approvals. So my suggestion to you then would be to adjourn this until September the 8th and bring us the updated drawings, and then we can go forward at that point.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to accept the applicant's request to adjourn 25 Windmill Lane till September the 8th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank
time
you.
and have a nice holiday.
Thank you, same to you. So that brings us up to 101 Hedges Lane, 101 Toilsome Lane for exterior renovations to primary residence.
Is there anyone here for that?
Was anyone here last time?
We had this before where it didn't have.
Is anyone here for 101 Hedges LLC? Okay, moving on. 39, then let's move forward to 39 Moses Lane for alterations to it existing.
It's just like a nice house that I love. She didn't get to do it.
You can start by introducing yourselves, please. for
Yes,
that.
good evening, board. My name is Charles Kuhn, an architect. I represent Cordell, the property owner.
Okay,
We were here before the board back in June,
you
I
were.
believe June 23rd. And at the time, the board, the original design we presented, the board had a lot of concern about the various roof lines that I designed. and wanted me to sort of simplify the the roof line. So what I did, the previous design had a series of 4 gables going along the front of the house. So we did eliminate all the gables, kept a consistent fascia line. And what I did is a single reverse gable with an oval window, and then to the left of that,
Do you have
a
this-
eyebrow window.
I'm sorry, do you have this drawing with you?
That was the original, that
Yeah,
was the
do
original.
you have it, just so the public?
I, I'm sorry, yes, I
Here,
do.
just-
Here, let me,
It'd be nice for the public,
exactly, let me,
public to see the difference.
I got it, I got it. So, so this was the original design, and like I said, the board felt that the series of gables was a little too busy. The split roof line, again, just added too much detail to the house. So what I did is like I said, I drew basically a single consistent fascia line with a single reverse gable and an eyebrow window set up to the left of that. The other thing I did was extend the porch all the way across the house, and I did that to visually try to reduce the massiveness of a 2-story wall. Being that we brought all these fascia lines up, I just felt it really raised the height of the house. So by extending the porch across, I felt that sort of reduced some of the scale of the house. The other, and actually let me now put that one in place. So that's now the revised design. The other issue that the board had, we were trying to keep the number of windows to a minimum on the north and the west side. The board felt it was a little too stark, so we did add a couple more windows just to sort of balance out some of the blankness, I'll say, of those elevations. And I'm just going to slide that. Whoop. So basically, looking at the back elevation, again, because the roof lines are different, we have a window up on top. We did add some windows to the bathroom, and then we did add a series of windows in the back and a couple on the side. So, hopefully it balanced out the consistency of the elevation. Again, because these two sides, the north and the west, sort of are the closest to the property line, we want to be sensitive not to create too many windows. The last item that the board had concern with is that there is an existing second floor deck on the house, which we would like to maintain. The board, has concern with any deck of privacy issues, looking at the neighbors. So we the board asked us to present a couple pictures of those views. If you see from the photographs that the property is rather well screened, you can't, that's the picture of the current condition, very heavily landscaped. So there's quite a bit of privacy. And that was one of the reasons why the Cordles bought this property, because it is very isolated. So not only do they have their privacy, but also their activities are pretty private from the neighbors.
But do you have a plan that shows the neighboring? There is a house at least to the north, correct?
Oh, there is, yes.
How about to this? It's close to the end of the street. I mean, it sits in a funny way, your house, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, the north house is the closest,
Uh-huh.
and,
But I
the
have
property,
no-
yeah, the property is current.
Other than driving over there right now, I have no reference in my head. That's our thing with these, the noise and the light also, not just the being able to see from these balconies.
The deck actually faces south.
Yeah.
So again, the north elevation are those elevations that I was trying to keep the windows to a minimum. Knowing that that is the closest property to, or the closest house to this particular house. So we were trying to be a little sensitive with the windows. So the existing deck is on the south side of the house.
Yep.
So again, that,
It's, there is a difference between people
No, that's-
talking on the second floor
Mhm.
and people talking on the porch on the ground, to me.
understood.
It's invasive, so I don't know.
Again, the deck is existing. We're actually reducing some of the size of the existing deck. The existing deck does sort of wrap around towards the front of the house. We're getting rid of all that. So, you know, I understand your point. I mean, certainly, you know, anytime you have a second floor deck, you know, conversations do carry, but, you know, this is existing, so we're looking to try to maintain it.
Kathy, you had a question?
I do. Oh, sorry. I'm a little confused. So this is the front of the house, right?
That's correct, yes.
But is there a swimming pool there?
There is an existing swimming pool in the front of the house.
I
That's
see.
existing. It's been
Okay.
there for many years.
Oh,
Bet
okay.
you'll be keeping that.
Yeah, and actually, the zoning board actually.
Talk about pre-existing
Yeah.
non-conforming.
Right.
Talk about zoning, go ahead.
Because this is a flag lot, and it's more technicality, it really doesn't.
Right.
The pool is actually technically considered the back of the house because when the board ruled on the zoning, as you drive, you actually drive
remember
into
this.
the back of the property,
Right.
quote unquote. So,
And that was a long time ago, is that what you're saying?
yeah, that
Right.
pool's been existing for many
Okay,
years.
Right.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's really not
When you looked at it, you looked at it as
If
good,
we
but-
were to locate a pool today, it probably wouldn't be the first choice.
And it probably
But
wouldn't, it
never-
probably wouldn't be this shape if it really, today, but yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like the Beverly Hills pool. All right, board members.
I'm not going first, I always do. Someone else.
Kathy, Nita?
I appreciate that you made the entrance white,
Yeah.
but I'm sort of, to market, but I feel like it's sort of, did you see any precedence of that historically, that sort of?
There are actually a few homes in the area. There's a home directly across the street that actually has a very similar setup with a whiteboard and batten on the first floor under a porch. So yeah, this
But
is very.
is it like, I don't know, for me, I would think that the house would fit in better if it was just all shingle.
Two points, I guess, I looked at. One, I was, because it is under a porch, I felt that, you know, introducing the white would sort of brighten up the, you know, the shade of the porch. It is technically the front of the house, it is the main entrance, so I was sort of hoping to give it a little punch.
We don't have a site plan? We don't have a site plan with the driveway and how?
Well, I have a site plan, yep.
Is it in our packet? Or is it-
It's in your packet, yes.
Could you direct us to which? I
Uh,
can't find it. though.
Probably in
Yeah.
the original packet.
And this is
Right.
what I've looked
It's part of
way
a drawing
back,
package.
the original.
Right.
This is all I've got. Wait, maybe there's one.
Okay, that'll help.
Nope.
It's labeled ST1.
We got it, thank you.
In the rendering, it's hard to see the roof line, there are two roof lines depicted in the east elevation. In the rendering, I only see one.
Oh, okay, I actually, you know, it's interesting because I do have another rendering of that angle. I'd be more than happy to present it to the board. It's actually from the different angle. The one you're looking at is taken from, I'm gonna say, the southeast. This is from the northeast.
Okay, that clarifies.
So if I have extra copies that the board would like to take these, more than happy to. So I'll actually do this.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
Oh, that's helpful, thank you.
Oh, that's great,
A small comment, I would just,
thank you.
the little decorations around the oval window,
Mhm.
is that,
You know, again, I did survey some of the homes in the area. I did know that was, you know, sort of a, you know, current, a detail that I've seen on a few homes.
oh, you have, okay,
Yeah,
I'm just
we're not
curious where
married
it's
to them, but the
coming
board,
from.
you know, if the board feels it's too busy, I was sort of back and
No,
forth
I
on
mean,
that.
I'm up for it if it's sort of based on some
It is
historic-
actually based on
Okay.
some homes I
Are
saw
you
in the
up for
area,
both
yes.
of them?
Sorry?
I'm not up for both of them.
I don't know, it seems a
I'm not
little-
up for either of them. I think that those details are in homes that are not historic, by the way.
Yeah,
They were
that's what
just
I'm wondering,
put
is it
in by
historic?
developers.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
pretty much sure that's true in that part of town.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no
okay, that's what I
relevant
felt.
precedent,
Yeah,
I would
okay,
say.
okay, so that's what I meant, is if it's truly historic from
No, no, no.
the village, then,
It wasn't.
but
a feature.
otherwise,
Yeah.
otherwise I
And-
would simplify and I would just keep the whole thing shingle and I would get rid of the little,
Okay.
Of the
Yeah, like I
intrusions
said,
from the
we're not
of the
married to the
motifs.
keys around the oval.
right.
I'll
What do you
certainly
think?
eliminate those.
Well, what I'm hearing is you don't have support for the oval window, and I think that the keystone elements you have around it are too big anyway. Or the eyebrow.
Yeah, because it just sticks
Yeah.
out.
So I don't think you need those. We did have another house that had board and batten in the front, and we asked them to change it back to shingle for the same reason. When you have all this white across the front of the house, you actually can't find the front door because it just makes a whole big white existence. I think if you go back down to shingle with whether it's a white door or a colored door or a different kind of door, then the window and the windows and the door become prominent features. And when you come up to the house, it's more typical of what we would find in Southampton. I think it's more of a harmonious decision all the way around. You want to talk to me for a minute about those two windows? Why are they there?
Sorry.
They're just decoratively? Do they go to an attic? Or is
which
there a
windows?
light
I'm
reason
sorry.
there?
The-
These two windows,
Yeah.
why are
they're
they there?
decorative, purely decorative,
Okay,
non-functional.
so if they don't have a function,
Nope.
then form follows function, then we don't need them because they're not lighting anything that needs to be lit. So, and then my only other question is, when I look at the rhythm of your brackets around the house, they're not evenly spaced?
I'll make sure they are
Is
evenly
that
spaced.
just a
Actually,
choice,
that's-
or-
I believe it's just a rendering issue.
Okay.
I'll certainly make sure they're, the geometry.
But normally, even in historic houses, you would find they would be perfectly evenly spaced around the house
yeah.
because they
I think
represent,
that
they
was just,
represent an extended
the
architectural.
renderer,
Okay,
we'll make sure that's corrected.
okay.
And the chimney is painted white?
No, actually, that was one of the changes. That's why I didn't present the one elevation.
Oh, okay.
We
okay.
were thinking about a
We
white
see it,
chimney,
right.
and then we had a second thought, and the current rendering has got just the red
I
brick.
see that,
And we're going to keep
sorry.
that red, yes.
Great.
The owner of the house not having to maintain the white painted chimney will thank you.
Yes.
Okay, any other comments?
Nope.
Are there any
What
comments?
about, how are we doing with the balcony?
My position on it, since it's pre-existing,
Oh,
Um,
but is it the actual pre-existing, what is it the same dimensions as the?
They're
It's
actually
actually
making it
smaller.
smaller.
We're
That's
actually
smaller.
reducing
Oh,
the
okay.
size
it's
of it.
pre-existing,
Okay.
they're
Yeah.
making it
I hear
smaller.
you.
Are there any comments from the public? Okay, so we're getting very close now. So
Creeping up on it.
all we need to do now is if you can make those changes that you've heard and bring it back to us in September, then it looks like that's the last set of
All right,
issues
sounds
that
good.
you're facing with the
And you'll
board.
be able to actually maybe drive to the house.
Okay, so with that,
I like
I'm,
your trees.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. And I will honestly say thank you for listening.
Yeah, the points were very clear and you listened.
Yes,
I'm sorry, you are-
Sit down and say who he is.
This is my uncle.
Oh, hi, Uncle.
Lives in the neighborhood.
Okay,
I've been to all these hearings.
okay,
Oh, wait,
start by
yeah,
introducing
you have to
yourself,
give your
please.
name.
Gerald Rosengartner.
Okay.
I've lived in the village for the last 40 years. What I see, you're talking about a couple of things. Okay? This has gone through over a year based upon a mistake by an attorney when the house was purchased.
there were some zoning issues that we had to get cleared up.
Is
Okay,
it-
that's not
Doesn't-
relevant.
doesn't- it's
That's not relevant to us.
It's not
but-
relevant to
Okay,
you.
so just please stick to what's relevant to us.
What's relevant to me, if you will, is 3 meetings like this. Or, what's this, the third or the fourth?
We
Second.
originally did, that's true.
Second.
I mean, I understand what you want. We'll attest to what you want. I mean, what are you asking for, really?
That's not how we do it.
Well, here's why we asked.
Well, I've been watching for
Here's-
the last 4 meetings that I've been to, okay? This house can't be seen by anybody. I know that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
I've heard that before. But it does matter. And the fact
But
of
it
the
does
matter-
not matter by code.
No, I
So
understand.
good. Yep.
I understand. I built in this
And
village.
we get driven by the code of
I've
Southampton
actually built
Village.
on Moses,
Okay.
okay? 20 years ago. I guess what I'm looking to, but I guess it's.
What you're asking is if we're willing to look at it and approve it, if you stipulate the changes and give us drawings before we approve the house is what you're
Correct.
asking.
That's exactly what I'm asking.
Okay, so we got there, okay. What's your opinion, Alice? Do you think these changes are significant enough that we should see them?
So what I heard is you're removing some windows,
We're removing
The ARB window and the oval.
Yep,
respacing brackets,
Mhm.
and changing board and batten to shingle.
to shingle.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Brackets, fine. board and batten, fine. The windows, I see that as the board's call. Because you need, if you can visualize it and you're simply removing windows, and you can visualize it without seeing that change, then that makes sense to me.
Then I will poll the board to see how they feel. Do you want to see drawings, or?
I'm happy not to. I'm okay not to.
I'm fine without drawings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm finding there's also a reason for it. We don't have a meeting for a month.
Yeah.
Right.
Because normally they're 2 weeks apart. So I appreciate I appreciate your request. So what I would say, because these are not major changes, that I would say that we can approve it with stipulations. And then what happens is after we approve it, then new drawings have to come to the village. I have to sign the drawings as the chairman of the board before they go in, before any permits can be issued, and I review them against the notes of what goes on in the meeting. So I'm happy to stipulate this and review the drawings when they come in.
Okay.
Just know that they have to come in complete with renderings before we can
All right.
sign off.
We'll make sure you get them
Okay.
as quick as possible.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to motion to approve the application for 39 Moses as presented on September 8th with the stipulations that the eyebrow window and oval window be removed from what is the roof and front-facing pediment of the house, that the board and batten on the front-facing portion of the house be changed from board and batten to shingle to match the side wall, the existing side wall, and the trim to remain white, and
Spacing.
the rendering, I think it's actually rendering, but the spacing of the brackets or corbels, whatever they are, be even surrounding the house, and be rendered as such.
Right.
We'll-
Okay?
We agree.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a great
So
night.
thank you. And when you get them to the building department, Alex they'll tell us, and I'll come in.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that takes us to. That takes us to 12 Halsey Path LLC.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I need another. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. And you're back.
That's so cute.
Okay. Start by introducing yourself to the public, please.
David Gilmartin, Greenberg, Troy, counsel for 12 Halsey Path.
Okay.
Good evening. My name's Brian Glasser, architect. So I just want to run through, this is our second time presenting, and the board had a few comments for us, which we addressed every item that they brought up. Just going to go through them. One of the concerns was the front elevation, and I am presenting the original design along with the changes. One thing you'll see is that we removed, out of the 13 windows on the second story, we removed 5 of them, which is roughly 75 square feet of windows. So instead of having a ribbon of windows wrapping around, we basically have 3 windows over the front door and the windows over here on the front elevation. Another item that came up was the window for the going into the basement window well. We reduced the height by 30% down, so it's pretty much tucked in. It is letting natural light into that stairwell, so that was something that we felt we were going to end up leaving some of it there. We also reduced the primary terrace off the back. Originally, it was 143 square feet, and we reduced it down to 71. So it's roughly 15.6 wide by 4'6". And you'll see here on the floor plans, on the second floor, you see right here, it barely fits 2 chairs. One other item that was which really stood out was there was a large roof deck here for these 2 bedrooms, which was roughly 34 feet by 9 feet. That was a total of, it was 316 square feet. We completely eliminated that deck on the 2nd story. Mark, you mentioned that you had a concern about the shingled columns, which we changed it.
You mean
Yeah.
your always personalized Art
Yep.
Deco coloring, yes?
White, so we used a square style, traditional square style with like a Tuscan capital on top. We also removed all the decorative brackets over the front entry at the 2nd story. And that was the extent of our changes.
So, are we, this was issued 8/1/2025? These things are so hard to do. We have a lot of pieces of paper, forgive me, but is this is what?
We reissued, so we were trying to make the last meeting and we didn't make the last meeting, so I'm
So
not
is
sure.
that what this is?
8/1,
Yeah.
8/1 is the current one.
You have August 5th?
The building
August
stamp is August 5th. His-
Oh, it's
yeah.
August.
August 1st should be the
Okay,
current.
that's it.
That's
Nice.
So you said on the north, on the front, that there were 13 windows? Aren't there still 13 windows? Or that's why
No.
you reduced them?
We took 5 windows out. So originally there was 5 across the front, 2 on the sides, and 3 on the side. And we took the 2 out and reduced the other 3. So we took 5 out total. I believe you didn't want to have a ribbon of windows wrapping. It's on this rendering, I can show you. This was the original design.
Oh, yeah, no.
It kept going, which I get it.
Yeah.
So we made it look like individual windows, similar to the, over the main gables where there's 3 windows.
Well, okay, now that I'm on the right page,
Mhm.
I think it's improved. It's still that, this is like deja vu all over again, this big stairway window. There are a lot of them. That I just don't, for me, it's not an attractive feature. I cannot tell you. I know you want, quote, light in the stairwell, but how much light is required? I still feel that the rest of the house has a kind of subtle grandeur, actually, and that this suddenly interferes with that.
So I did go back and forth with different options.
Yeah.
And I was
You
trying
did.
to do 1 window. I tried doing 2 windows to reduce it, and 3 windows, like an odd number, just felt right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's high up. It seems to, it's positioning. I don't know. I'm not an architect. I'm uncomfortable with that. I don't feel good about that. The rest of it, so far as I can tell, looks pretty good.
The one, I'll let everyone go through. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question.
Hmm.
Okay, you've got one great big window in the center of the turret,
Yeah.
and then there's 2 gangs on either side. Did those actually get bigger?
No, so slightly.
Slightly by like 2 feet?
No, not that much. Maybe like the next size down, which might be like 6 inches.
Okay, so if I look at last week,
Yeah.
and I look at your window line,
Yep.
it made sort of an elegant line that went across the front of the house.
Yep.
Yep, but now,
And we went.
I'm looking here, and now each of these windows is considerably
Little
deeper.
lower. Yeah, it's about, so it's that we went to the next window size down. The one thing I was gonna say is we were gonna pull that center window up. The problem is, our last conversation was, we didn't wanna come up to the staircase and be looking at a wall with a window just above your eyes. So it was so I was thinking if we pulled those windows down to the next level, the scale of that wouldn't seem off as much. So that was the whole concept of it.
Well, I guess then the question becomes, although you've removed 13 windows, how much actually percentage of glazing have you reduced?
So here's the one thing I think you'll be happy with. So if you look at the site plan, where the actual turret is located.
Yes, it faces the house, yes.
I know, but here's the thing. See this house?
Uh-huh.
There's no windows or dormers there. No one will ever see it.
Let me see. Well,
That's what I was.
I still have a
Yeah.
precedent issue here, but yes.
No, this is.
That's the side of the house?
Yeah, you'll never see it.
Trust me, they'll see it,
Isn't
but
that
okay.
a little
Yeah.
turn
Well,
around
it
one?
depends on where your house, where the windows
By
here
the
to
big
where
house
the
on the
yard, but,
prairie there?
okay.
Is this the big
That's
house
a
on the
good try.
prairie, that thing?
But you
That's what I
haven't,
call
you hadn't
it.
actually answered my question, like, though you say there's fewer windows, when the ones you do have got bigger, how much have you actually reduced the glazing?
I'm sorry, what was that, miss? What'd you say?
Though you may have fewer windows, if the fewer windows are in fact bigger,
Oh,
how have you
okay.
actually reduced the glazing, which was the idea of reducing windows?
So we reduced 75 square feet, 5 windows at 15 square feet each. If we added a half, so it was only, it was like 10 square feet added. Because they only came down to the next window size, which was like a 5'6" window versus a 5 foot.
Are you objecting to the front?
Just the windows to the left and the right, I think he's mentioning.
Have you tried matching the stair windows to the rest of the windows in the house?
In terms of this munions?
Originally, yeah, like I said, if I brought the
Buttons?
windows, the thing is, there's a landing, like, just below that one window. So if you were, say, 5 feet tall, you'd be looking at the bottom of the sill.
Yeah, I mean, we don't care so much about the interior of the house, it's more like what
Yeah,
impression.
the exterior and.
And then the light pollution, and it just, I think we're saying it's still a little off, that one stairwell window.
I personally don't understand. I think, like, considering how big this house is,
Mhm.
why that's such a big deal.
That's-
That it throws off your, yeah, I drove down there. I lived
No,
down
I was
there.
gonna say, so we have a flag lot, we have multiple flags coming off of here, neighbor to the north with all.
Three capes
Yeah,
on the
nobody's,
way, and then that, and then
Yeah.
the little house on, the big house on the prairie.
well, I was
up
also
there on
gonna
the
say
road.
that this structure coming out next to a tennis court, it's never even gonna be seen. It really isn't.
Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah, we
that's
don't
how-
really,
we don't
no,
work
we
that way.
don't work that way.
We have to actually-
Kathy has a question, which I think is a
Yeah.
good one. If you made the middle window the same size as the two flanking,
Mhm.
and it just became basically that, what's your feeling?
Almost like a bag.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
Idea.
Where's the,
I would be, yeah.
you made the middle window?
Cut this
Oh.
one shorter.
Just aligned it.
Yeah, just align
Yeah.
them.
Oh, I see. Well, I think that's not a bad idea. It seems so high up, I still don't get it.
Yeah.
It actually, I do think that relieves some of my feeling of discomfort in
Right.
how it looks. I actually think it is more dignified, and I think you have a dignified house on your hands, which I like. So it would just get rid of the too much.
You,
What do
you
think?
unfortunately have to, you unfortunately have to go back to the microphone because you
Oh,
can't have a
no.
conversation with what the public can't hear.
Um,
Or Alice really yells at me.
So that sort
I
of
think that will look
standardizes
nice.
it
That
in
will
a
look,
way.
yeah. Because you see that drop, so it feels more.
It also,
Yeah.
it also
Yeah,
feels a little
It's
more.
a little show-offy.
It also doesn't make the tower look so much like a tower because
Yeah.
when
More
you're
wall,
when you're A, the light is one issue, and B, visually, you're fitting this big monolith structure there. I think if you take Kathy's suggestion, I think it calms it down.
Yeah, you
I
just
have to say,
line it
that's a
up.
good, considering how minimal it really is, it is a good
Yeah.
suggestion.
One thing I will say is, I agree with you, and I think from the outside, I think it looks nice where it doesn't have that drop.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I mean, this is something I have to speak to my client about, but if we got it approved today like this, let's just say at some point we're like looking at it and it really bothered us, could we make an attempt to come back and change it?
We,
You can
With the,
always,
we can
Apply for-
reapply and, yeah.
I'm going to quote a friend of mine. I can't predict the future.
Yeah.
You
But
can
it would be
always
okay.
you can
We can
always
always
come
come
back.
back.
You can always
Yeah.
come back and apply.
Right.
I'm just saying, if it really bothers
can
my
amend
client or
it,
myself,
though,
I would
is
say,
that
because
right?
I see your stance on
What
it,
I,
right?
what I
Right.
what I wouldn't suggest you do is go ahead and get the approval that you're looking for, knowing you're going to come back at a later date
Right.
and hope for the best.
We
I think what I
experienced
would
some of that.
say is take the suggestion if we get the approval and just look at your architecture and figure out how to make the interior architecture
Okay.
work with the suggestion.
He's okay with it.
It's approved.
Okay.
okay, Greg.
All right.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other comments on any other portion? First of all, thank you for listening. I actually think the
Right.
changes to the house make it
Yeah.
more dignified. And it's more both in its massing, its presentation, its harmony to its neighbors. I think it's a
Yeah.
little more typical of what we see in the village.
This house is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna be
think it's
nice.
quite,
Yeah, it's a big house. It's a
Yeah.
handsome house.
Yeah.
Elegant.
Are there any comments from the public?
Do I have to sign our initial or something, or we're just changing?
Well, you're the
Yeah, you
architect.
have to-
No, actually, do you have your plans here?
I don't have the large size, but I do have a smaller set.
What you'll need to do is just, we can approve it with the stipulation. You'll just have to update the plans and send them into the village.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Comments from the public? No. All right, with that, then I'm going to motion to approve, got my paperwork here before I screw this up. Approve the application for 12 Halsey
Oh,
Path
all right.
as presented from drawings dated, updated drawings dated 8/1, with the one stipulation that the center stairway, the window and the upper bank of windows be shortened to match the height of the two other windows in that same plane.
Okay, great.
Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye. Good luck.
And then when you get those in there, then I'll go inside.
Oh, God, Kathy.
Thank you.
Good eye. You really are.
All right, so that takes us to 177 David White's Lane. Hello?
Good evening, everybody.
Hi.
Mary and Joe Hickey.
Hello again.
So we listened to the board's recommendations from the last meeting. And we made the corrections that were suggested. So there's symmetry, so both the front of the structure and also the garage doors on the side, they were not
Can
in line.
can you put the mic right in front of you?
I'm sorry,
It's okay.
The microphone, Joe.
the microphone.
To you.
Yeah,
In front of
perfect.
you.
There we go.
If you just put it in front of you, it's directional, so if
thank
you
you.
speak at it, it goes right in.
Start again.
Okay. Mary and Joe Hickey,
'Cause she's got-
177 David White's Lane.
Okay.
So we took the board's suggestions and recommendations, and we created more symmetry with the building. We removed the casement windows, we removed the transom windows from the front that the board was not happy with. And then on the side of the building, we made the garage, everything symmetrical, lined up so that the windows are directly over each garage door,
And space them,
and space them appropriately.
the garage doors as well. And also the front porch, we took
We
off
took the
that
portico out
additional
there.
portico,
Yeah,
so
it
it's
just goes
just a
straight
nice,
across.
clean, actually looks
That
nice.
was another
A nice,
recommendation.
clean line.
And could you go over the materials again, just for a moment?
The materials, it's Mabec cedar. The materials on the outside of the building?
Yeah,
because
please.
that's what we
Yeah.
do.
I have it if you want to see it.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
please.
great.
Okay.
Ooh, samples.
Sorry.
Oh, heavy bag.
That's just my iPad.
It's the same color of the existing house. We're just going to reside the whole house with the.
Okay, those are dipped.
Yeah, it's
Dipped gray.
Okay.
Dipped gray,
And
and then
white.
Versatex trim. Very simple. See, it's what the house is now. We're just
Asphalt roof color?
asphalt roof charcoal, the same as it is now. We're just going to take the old roof off and put
Okay,
a
okay.
new roof back on.
I think there's some, there's,
What?
so on one side we have the existing and then the other are the proposed. Did I?
Yeah,
Right.
This is the same drawing that the board members have?
Yes.
Right.
it
It
actually
should-
is.
It should be the updated ones. I sent them in by email
Oh, 7/29/25.
Mhm.
and it should say.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
Is that, do you have?
those
two,
Alex?
That's what I have.
If they were given hard copies as well?
Yes.
This is dated
These are
7/29.
stamped in August 7th.
Okay, just want to make sure
Yes.
that's the same
Right.
Oh, it looks like the
that
same
we're
thing.
seeing
Can you
here.
see it through the smoke and haze?
It's a little screen is a little dark.
Okay.
Okay, Do you want me materials. to bring it up
Mate-
on my
no,
No,
computer?
no,
Mate-
no,
no,
it's
go ahead.
okay. It's not
Th-
new.
These are the right
It's
words.
us.
Okay, continue on materials. Any other questions?
I think we did the materials.
We
There
did?
were
I
no-
missed the
What
one
color is
listening
the
to.
front door?
White
Okay.
shaker. Matches the garage doors.
So the trim's white, the door's white, it's gray shingles, and there's a charcoal asphalt roof. Have I covered it?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have color? Yeah, it doesn't come up well, I'm sorry.
I actually, I thought you did a good job.
Yeah,
Thank
It's
you.
a clean, nice house.
thank you. It looks cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you have planter boxes on the front porch and you're good to go.
Nina?
Yep, I
Okay.
agree.
Any comments from the public?
Wow, we are so.
Okay, then I
popular.
am going to motion then to accept the application for 177 David White's Lane based on drawings dated 7/29 and stamped into the building department on August the 7th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
again,
Good luck.
also
Judith,
thank you for
thank you
listening.
for
'cause
listening.
I think the
Right.
changes are great.
Thank
Make
you.
it a hassle.
We do too.
We do too.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Okay, so that brings us to 110 West Prospect Street. Okay. Okay, the first thing we have to tackle is the demo eval.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, you're in receipt of Zach's report?
Yes, I did get a copy of that.
Okay. Do you have any comments on the report before we talk about it?
Yes, I guess I'll first give my name. Nick Pfluger, Bowler Pfluger Architects, 85 East Main Street, Bay Shore, New York, here for the applicant. Yeah, I mean, just a brief comment. You know, I know at the end of the report, it does mention that the house does embody the distinguishing characteristics of a type, period, or method, so on and so forth. That's mentioned in the code. But I just wanted to give the board information that we did get from Chris Talbot from the building department. He did say that there was no historical figure of significance that lived in the house, no architect of significance, and no significant historical event occurred at the house. So I just wanted to present that to the board.
Do you have that in writing?
I don't believe we do.
Yeah,
That-
that sounds like, I mean, frankly,
It-
conjecture from an unqualified person.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
building inspector, but still.
Okay, I mean, that wasn't the intent. It was just information that actually the homeowner went down and he just wanted to get some additional information and he talked to Chris Talbot.
Yeah, we would need that in writing.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure that's, something that we could accomplish. I don't have any reason to think that those statements are untrue. But sure, understandable.
No, not that they're untrue, that they're not verified by someone with the
Yeah.
correct knowledge to know those
Okay.
facts, right? Because that's something
But-
that an architectural historian does.
Gotcha. Understood.
Well, that was a good, now what?
Good question.
Well,
Oh.
if we look at, and Alex, do you want to run them through? There's 5 criteria that we look at.
There
If we were
are
going to,
6.
if we were going to consider.
Six?
6, if we were going to consider landmarking a house. And several that was mentioned are those criteria. Was it a work of a famous architect? Was a person of history lived there? Did a significant event occur at the house? Though, of the 6, there is one that this house does qualify for, which is embodies the distinguishing characters of a type, period, and method of construction, is what Zach has told us. So the question for the board then becomes, on basis of one of the 6 criteria, are we comfortable outside the historic district going to landmark this approaching landmark status for this house, or not? That's really the question. Because one of the offsetting factors is, we as we know, 4 square houses are getting harder and harder to come by in the village because we've lost a lot of them. But the question is, how do we feel about this one?
I just want to say that I know that the board has opined that they're losing 4 squares, but I don't think you can consider that as a factor if you were to consider landmarking one
okay.
particular house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Because
agree with that.
that would be a factor that you would consider in connection with a district in general, whereas this landmark is about a particular structure.
Okay, that's fair.
So when we first saw the plans, I think all of us commented on that it was a lovely 4 square house. I mean, Zach didn't really have to tell us that. He told us the whole history. But it is a very good I mean, it's just, you can see from looking at it. But I don't know, let someone, I'm not sure what I think about landmarking, and I don't know.
Mark, did you have a question for me? I wanted to make sure I answered it if you did.
No, I sort of got half my answer myself. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Okay. It's a long night. I guess here's how I come out on it. It is a Foursquare. It is eligible, but it's only 1 out of the 6 criteria. I think for where we are right now, and oddly, we know what it would be replaced with, which is another takeoff in a Foursquare, which we'll be talking about in a minute. This sort of mimics it. So I think in the basis on this street, in this neighborhood, I don't know that I would support landmarking this house.
I agree.
I agree.
Because for me, it's also a question of village resources going into the process too.
Yeah.
So with that, then I'm going to motion that this board will not pursue landmark status for 110 West Prospect Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we can move on to your house.
Okay, thank you very much. So addressing the board's comments from the last meeting, you can see that the elevations, we did a side-by-side comparative analysis here. So on the left, that's dated 7/28/2025. We have our previous submission, and then on the right we have 8/11/2025, today's submission. So what we did, just going down the list of comments from the last meeting, the use of transom windows on the first floor. We did remove the transom windows. We can see that here on this elevation, and on all of the elevations we removed the transom windows. We did, I'll say that we had the top of the windows when it did have transoms at 8'10". So now the top of the windows and doors are at 8 foot. So without the transom windows, just for now, speaking about the front elevation, percentage-wise, we brought the window ratio from 32.5%, and I can give you the square footages if you want, but from 32.5% down to 26.6%. So we did reduce the amount of overall glass on the front. Another comment from the board was on the rear wall of the living room, the projection of the fireplace. So we just pushed the fireplace in, so there's no projection. The wall is now flush. That's in between the 2 doors going out to the rear porch. Another comment that we had was the size of the dining room window. With removing, and I'll flip to that elevation, with removing the transom windows, we inherently, made the window smaller. So hopefully that alleviates that comment. The comparative window ratio on that elevation, just to give that information to the board. We previously had 18.5%, and now that wall on the west elevation is at 14.9% of window. Also go through the other percentages. On the rear elevation, we had 28.2, now we're down to 27.2. And on the east elevation, we had 15.8%, and now we're down to 13.3%. So, we feel that we reduced the amount of windows a good amount. Hopefully the board agrees. And those were the main comments that we saw from the board. So if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So you made the front door smaller.
Yes, we removed the side lights. We actually did two things. Actually 3 things. We removed the side lights, we removed the transom, and we did bring the bottom of the glass of the front door, we did bring that up.
Well, you made the front door taller.
Yes, and the front door is...
The front door went from 8
the
to 9 feet.
Yes, I'm sorry, say again?
Did the door go from an 8-foot to a 9-foot door?
It was, yeah, at 8,
It's
10
more like
with
the
the
original door.
transom,
Yeah.
and then now the top is at 8 foot. So it's still lower than what we had, but it is an 8-foot door.
It's more like the original.
Really?
Yeah, and the ceilings are 9'6" on the first floor, so you know an 8-foot window and head height is pretty standard with that kind of ceiling height.
Can I just say one thing? I believe that the landscaping is part of the house.
Mhm.
And it's also very typical of these houses to have these rhododendron bushes in front and the way that the steps go through the bushes with this kind of curved path coming out. I think
Mhm.
it's such a charming way of entering the house, and I'm wondering if you would be open to just,
Hydrangeas.
I'm so sorry, I'm not very expert
Okay.
at planting,
That's
but,
what that is.
sorry, wrong plant, but these things, hydrangeas.
Sure.
Yeah, so I
Understood,
just
yes.
feel like it's a softer
Mhm.
entry, and it's sort of more, I just think
Yeah.
it helps the whole four-square typology.
Sure, we'd be 100% open to placing that type of planting there, for sure.
Let's go back to the front door issue.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think it looks underscale now.
I
to
agree.
me.
Too tall and
Too tall and skinny. It's like it feels like furniture
I-
wouldn't be able to move.
yeah.
not
But that's
go
what
in
the
through
original
the
is.
door.
Not that,
Yes,
not that,
was-
there's something wrong.
Okay.
Maybe it's too narrow, but,
Yeah, it's
too
too
narrow.
narrow.
just
for
look
sure.
at
I
the
mean, it's a
original width of maybe it's it needs to be
It's-
like a half foot
Gotcha.
wider,
It's
maybe.
Right.
it's a standard 3 foot wide door.
Maybe 3.5
we could
feet.
we could go
Yeah.
to a 3'6"
3.5,
I
wide
think
door.
would be better. 3.6.
It's, something is off. The whole, it looks like an afterthought in a sense.
I think the
okay.
steps look unsubstantial too. I think they look like a back door steps.
Well,
I don't think
but
it's-
isn't that what you would think is for a 4 square is
Oh, I don't
something
know.
that's a
Look at the
little
original one.
understated
The original one
rather
looks
than
like
overstated?
this. Yeah, exactly.
The little ones look a little.
Where's that?
I
Is
mean,
that
I'm
in
sure
the
it looks like it must
Oh,
be at a
it's in
different
the
elevation because
exacting?
there's
This is so
3
pretty.
steps,
Oh,
isn't it?
Yeah,
On
the
original.
Yeah, so the top of
God.
the porch is down a step
Right.
from the first floor.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that has,
Yeah, I
don't know.
Yeah, you know what it feels like is the door feels de minimis compared to the house. It's the scale of the door to the scale of the facade feels off.
I think
Okay.
a half foot
I thi-
more.
Yeah, we can
I
absolutely
think
make it a
that-
3'6" door for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half foot, a half, I think would help.
Okay.
I like the
Either that-
side door
either-
is a
yeah.
good improvement.
And also, if someone that has a 3.5-foot door, they're easier to get stuff in and out of the house.
Yeah.
with, by the
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely is.
yeah, which,
way. Trying to move things into the house
Furniture
with a
can be a
3-foot
real
door.
drag.
Trying to move things in and out of your house for a 3-foot door could kill you.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
you
will tell
never want to
that.
have to take the door
Yeah.
off the hinges if you don't
Even
have to.
then.
So.
Even
Yeah.
then, your furniture,
can't
your
get a
furniture
couch out.
people will kill you.
Yeah.
You'll be taking it through the
Okay,
windows.
so
Right.
so that's the door.
Right.
Um,
it's,
And then the site plan change from Nina, okay.
mean, the landscape.
I also, I know we mentioned it before, but the window above the fireplace seems just like a bizarre thing to me. I'm
I'm in agreement with that.
yeah,
I think you should just lose that window.
yeah.
Where's that?
Okay.
And
Yeah,
the
just
rear-
It's weird. It's weird.
It's
It is weird. That's, it'll also be all smoke. It's
And
Sure.
then we're not
Okay.
aware of the,
And
from the outside.
and it doesn't actually
'cause
matter
it's-
that it's weird. What it really matters is when we look at
doesn't look
like
good.
typical structures, what is normally seen in the village and harmonious to other
I see.
houses
You
in the
never
area.
see a
It's just you
fireplace
just
on
never
the
see
floor.
this. And
Right.
it looks like a pre-built house this way.
Yeah.
So
Understood. Okay, that's something that we can remove.
Good.
That's a minor issue.
now let's go to the side. Any questions about the side?
What is what's the size of the side door on the east
This-
elevation? Is that also 30?
Well, it
3
looks
feet?
bigger on the,
I don't know.
Looks like
That's also a 3-foot door.
so,
Mm-hmm.
the only way you can get furniture in the house is around the back. Just mentioning that to you.
Well, I mean,
No,
you
'cause
can
like
get,
when-
you can get furniture
if
through a
you're
3-foot
stuffing in
door.
that house, if you have small
It's
doors,
done all
but-
the time.
But back,
Furniture,
yeah.
make it
It-
another 6 inches.
More difficult, sure,
Right,
but
yeah.
not, not uncommon. But, yeah, I mean, again, making the front door 3.6,
I
not
would-
a problem.
I would do the same, I would do
Yeah.
I would do them the same
Same.
size also for
Yeah.
consistency.
Okay.
Yes.
I think the new version of the pediment over the door is more successful than
I
the
agree.
bracketed pediment, because
Great.
it gives it heft and purpose. How do we feel about the dining room window? It's gotten smaller.
I could give them that.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Okay. I think it's
agree.
okay. I do think the thing about the hydrangeas is pretty important,
I agree,
frankly.
I agree. All right, are there any comments from the public?
Oh, God.
There will not be. All right, so what you're hearing is that the door is going from 3 to 3.6,
Yes.
Both doors.
both
Both doors,
doors.
yep.
And you're going to lose the window
Over the,
over the fireplace in the south elevation.
Mm-hmm.
the
And
landscaping.
I think I can visualize that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
How about
I
the
th-
landscaping? Can you add
and the
that?
landscaping change, you want to articulate that for me? So I know
Oh.
how to put it in motion?
I would change the path to the original, more sort of giving it a little grass in front of the hydrangea
Mm-hmm.
bushes and soften it, the hard edges of the existing rectangle to the more softer edges of the original.
Understood. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe it doesn't have to be solid, can it have grass in between, or like a path?
Yeah, a path as opposed to a sort of landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of a
Kate,
path.
I'm sorry, Kate, can you just clarify that, like
Yeah,
a
just a-
stepping stone?
Well,
Setup?
even bluestone, even rectangular, but with grass and sod in between, maybe, or, I don't know, something to make it less,
It looks like a lot of hardscape. I think if you
Yeah.
break it up with like stones that are laid into the grass, and
Gotcha.
there's
Yeah.
grass in there, it'll soften
Yeah,
it
that
and be
would
more
really
typical of a
help.
neighborhood.
Understood.
then
Okay,
plan a
yeah,
couple
that's
hydrangeas.
absolutely not an
plants,
issue.
yeah.
And that, frankly, that would be nice, so.
Okay.
Okay. Are we comfortable that you can visualize this if we vote with stipulation?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
we are.
We didn't hear from the public, so I'm going to move to, did we? We asked for the public. Okay, so I'm going to move to approve the application for One Tech Prospect Street with the stipulations that that the path to the front door become a curved path with stepping stones with grass in between to soften the path, that the front door be widened by 1/2 foot, that the side door be widened by 1/2 foot to match the front door, and that the window over the fireplace and the south-facing elevation be removed. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great,
There we
thank
go.
you. Have a good night.
Again, update the plans, take them to the building department. and
Absolutely.
I'll go and look at them before we sign.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Next up
you.
is 630 Hampton Road.
Good evening.
Welcome back.
Dean Gamalka, landscape architect.
Do me a favor, sit down and get closer to the mics, because she has to put this into the minutes back there and she can't hear you.
Bruce Lewin.
Jack will be your friend if she can hear you. Okay.
Would it
Okay.
be okay to hand out a small set if it's helpful?
Is there stuff that you
I
have there
added
that
a
we don't
couple
have already?
elevations that you don't have.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last 4 pages.
Huh. I wondered where those were.
All right.
I wondered where those were. Okay.
No, thank you.
Oh, oh.
Okay. Go ahead.
So evidently you had questions about the landscaping.
Yep. Why don't you just take us through what you're presenting.
So I have London Plains at this one entry, London Plains, where we can put a couple trees. And then the birch tree in the corner, 2 other birch trees flanking this entrance, and everything else is basically existing. I did put a line of privet to help mitigate the headlights going into the road on Flying Point. And then on the Rose Architect side, we have a creeping evergreen low juniper to hold the embankment with some Vistaget sweet gums, just to help balance that visual barrier between the two properties.
Right now that property goes and went up. So all that work you're doing right now is grading the whole thing to flat?
No.
So
It
there'll
has to go
still be a
up?
drop off?
Yeah, there's still a drop off.
Okay, okay.
That's the reason for the planting on the, on John Rose's side.
Okay.
To mitigate the erosion there.
Okay.
So we brought down that higher section about 6 or 8 inches, because if you transition to the east, it does fall off, and it was dangerous because you could get hung up there with a car.
Oh, yeah.
So the reason he put
Which is
those,
only odd because it was a car, it's only odd because it was a
You
car
wanna get
dealer,
hung?
but yes.
So those 2 islands that stretch out into the west lot there,
Yep.
that, and you see how the one to the west comes out, that actually absorbs that drop off. And that was
Okay.
the only way to do that.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
So it's rather simple and open because of, the visual access these entrances need and the busy things that are happening on this site with the existing giant maple trees, et cetera. So this is sort of our approach.
Okay. Then take us to the renderings, please.
Sorry.
So L1 is just existing conditions. You can see some of the existing storefront windows that are installed already. I guess we're here to discuss the garage doors, that we're switching from garage doors to storefront windows, are in keeping with what's on the main entrance.
Okay.
The windows that are on the east elevation are the direct replacements for what was previously there. The building has been abandoned for a long time.
Yeah.
So those windows were broken, they were demolished, there was
Oh.
glass all over. It was horrible. And I had applied for a permit to replace those windows, and I got that. We replaced those windows about 2 years ago. We had a pending deal. It was
Yeah, because you started interior construction.
It fell apart.
The whole lot was going on there for a minute. Yeah.
Well, it was nothing really except clean up. There was raccoons. There were some people inside.
Yeah.
There were some things that we had to clean up and sweep up, and we
Sorry.
did. And we had
These are the people we just referred to as things.
Raccoons
but
and
okay.
people at the same time?
What'd you do with the people?
the raccoons and the people were living together at one point.
Okay.
I've been looking for the
Not
people.
my first encounter with that either.
No.
But so we had a pending deal, well, Bruce had a pending deal with a client, and they had, were very close to signing a lease, and the company went bankrupt. It was a huge furniture company, went bankrupt, and he was back to square one trying to release it. Found a couple of the leasing companies, but they weren't really up to what he was looking for in there. One was close, but it didn't meet the requirements. And now we have Stony Brook University, Stony Brook Medicine, who leases the property or owns a property on the opposite side of the road.
Right.
So they're looking to expand into that space, which I think is a good fit.
Us old folks like cardiology,
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so.
Us old folks like cardiology.
Yeah, we need that.
Kind of we do.
I need
Okay.
it.
Just saying,
Okay,
it's not a
so your plan is to
detriment.
take all the garage doors down and replace them to match the existing windows that are currently on the east end of the building?
So they're 10 by 10 bays, so we have equal panels, 3 equal panels in each bay.
It's 120 inches and they're 40-inch panels molded together, so. We did bring the height is a little taller, but we did bring the height down a little bit because it was just too much. So we came down about, I think, up 8 inches on the floor and 12 inches from the ceiling.
So you came up on the floor and down from the
Yeah.
ceiling because the garage doors have had tracks, yeah, okay. All right. And then the rest is patch and repair, and the whole building is going to be white?
Correct. So it's kind of interesting because you have a lot of stucco and brick relief. So I think you see the contrast. I think it works really well, in my opinion.
Having thousands of people drive by opining on what the building could be, it's nice to see that it is something. This is nice.
It wasn't a nice look for the
Yeah.
entranceway, the gateway to the village.
I remember back it was Mercedes.
We're trying,
I think.
we're
Yeah,
trying.
When I first moved here, it was
Chevrolet,
Mercedes.
It was Cadillac.
Yeah.
No,
was
Buick,
Buick.
Buick
Glen.
Cadillac, that's right.
And then somebody moved in there.
It was Glenn and Buick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some office,
Yeah. The
they
hub or
went
something.
bankrupt.
Something's
They
going
said
on.
they went bankrupt.
The spur, right?
All right.
So we work.
Anybody
yeah,
questions on
the spur.
questions on renderings or architecture? Anyone?
No.
No.
Okay.
I
Are there
think
any
they're
comments
doing
from
a
the
good
public?
job.
Are you closing off one of the curb cuts to Flying Point Road?
Flying Point, yep.
As per the building inspector.
You
thought that
are?
was
Mhm.
On
Quite
Flying
unsafe.
Point? So you
It's
have to-
unsafe.
We'll have
It's
one.
Okay,
100%
so you have
unsafe.
to come
Too
out on
close to the
County
corner.
Route
Is it
39.
No, no, no,
Close to
no,
the
there's two
corner.
entrances on
There's
Flying
two.
Point.
Oh,
So the
Closing
one,
oh, I see.
Yes,
the
there
one
is.
in the plan here that you see,
Okay.
this plan,
Because everybody else is coming out.
the one
So there were
closest
two.
to,
There were two. There was one right by the light, and you're closing that
Yeah,
one.
That's
get
the
that,
one
get
we're
rid of
it's
that.
too dangerous. We can't even
Okay.
get out there. When the people make that turn full speed, and it's extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I see.
Is that
Well,
a
I-
village road?
Don't drive past for another 3
Made a
weeks,
mess.
and it'll be fine.
All right, so what I would say to that is, first of all, thank you, because this is
Yeah.
what we were looking for. We're looking for a landscape plan. We always want the public to understand exactly
Yeah,
what's being built to
exactly.
be able to comment on it. So with that, I'm going to motion to accept the
What
application.
about the elevations? Did you like the elevations?
Pardon? Well, that's what the elevations do. They show us exactly what it's going to look like and how it's going to be built, because now we know that your windows are shorter and shorter, which is great.
Thank you.
So I'm going to motion to approve the application for
I'm
6:30.
I'm sorry, did you ask for public comment?
I did.
I know, you did,
Oh,
okay.
any
If we had
I
any
did.
public comment?
Any comments
No.
to the public?
FYI?
I asked. All right, so I'm going to motion to approve the application for 630 Hampton Road based on drawings dated, nothing. Drawings presented on on August the 11th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, aye,
Phone's talking back. All right, thank you and good luck.
I promise you, it'll be a
Congratulations.
beautiful corner.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your
Just a
time.
few weeks.
Well, I live right by it, so walking and seeing
Oh,
it
it's gonna
completed
look
will be
phenomenal.
quite
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
I want to see something there that I'm going to be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you got a tenant, you know, will pay the rent.
Yeah.
This is good.
Oh,
Okay, so that takes us to new matters. We have one for 130 Toilson Lane. Do you have the affidavits and are they in order?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they want to knock down 132, is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
And you're back.
Dean Gamalka, landscape architect.
Peter Cardell, Managing Member, Chris Char, 106 LLC.
Okay.
So this is a great old site. Peter picked up this wonderful property. It's surrounded by large evergreens, mostly green giants, emerald green arborvitaes. There are two evergreen magnolias, which are about 25 feet tall and flowering. It's a gorgeous piece. So basically, we're just moving things around. It's pretty much landscape. So the vocabulary is what's there, just
You mean from a landscape standpoint, you're moving things around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, you're
Okay.
moving the house out of existence. Just checking.
We are.
I mean, really.
Or you'd
it's
like
nice
to.
I
Anyway.
live right across the street.
Yes, I know
Yeah.
you do. I live nearby too, sir.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I like
Nice
that.
to meet you, neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry,
We're
we
really
interrupted you.
neighbors. So, you're gonna try to preserve all this stuff, meanwhile knocking down the house and building a new one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, as you've heard me say before, we have sent it to Zach because I want a historic analysis of the house. Because do we have, where did Alex go? Because I believe I believe we have a blue sheet on this house.
Really?
I'm not
yes.
sure.
Really?
Oh, we do have an
Where's
architect.
Yeah, Brian Brady is supposed to be.
On Zoom.
Can
you
hear me?
Yeah, there's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Thank God.
But I'll tell Brian the same thing I'm going to tell you, because whenever I have any house that has this history and looking at the builder in the house, we send it out to Zach Studenroth, who's going to do a historic analysis for the board, so we have independent information on the history of the house. This house is currently not in a historic district, so our options are to either choose to landmark the existing structure or not. But in order to make that, we have to look at the criteria for landmark consideration. That's what an exterior historic representative tells us, from which we make our decision. So we're not going to vote on this tonight because we will be waiting for Zach's report. Okay. Hello, Brian.
Hi.
So, Mark, what do you want me to do? Want me to walk you through what we're proposing to put on the property and our idea of why this house is not historic?
We're still going to
Helpful?
talk to Zach.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
tell,
you can tell us.
you can, well, we can do this one of two ways. Either we can wait until we get Zach's report, and then we can look at that, and then you can use that as a basis for comment on it.
All right, I can just, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sort of.
So it looks like, this house was probably built in the 30s, and it was probably a very nice Dutch colonial house. The new front entrance here, that was obviously not original. The columns are way too big. I'm not sure about that heavy peak gable. On the side, you can see the really nice shape of an older Dutch colonial, which it would have been. And then if you just go to the back of it, the back's just been added onto many, many times. And you can see there's a deck across the entire back, which I know your board loves.
Uh-huh. And Susan's favorite, which is a standing seam roof.
Yeah, right.
In the back?
And then, yeah, and here's the existing house
No, here.
survey.
It's existing.
So this
It's
is the size of the
existing?
house.
Existing, we're not doing a standing seam roof.
Don't do it in our
It
neighborhood.
doesn't belong on Toilsome Lane.
Thank you, sir. It's in a paddock.
I'm sorry, Brian, we interrupted you.
Yeah, so I just, thought I'd go through this. This is the existing survey of what's there, and this is the proposed survey. You can see what's dashed behind it. We're really not increasing the size of the house that much more. It's about maybe a third more, and it's in the exact same location. There is an old accessory structure here that we're going to restore, and we're going to add a garage here. We're moving the pool from here over to here. And
What is the old accessory structure? What does it do? It's a shed? It's a.
Right now, it's a shed. It was the original garage.
And it's.
It was the original one-story
It's an
garage.
unusual roof.
That's it,
right?
there. And it's a cool little structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool little structure.
Yeah. So we're gonna restore it and turn it into a pool pavilion.
Looks like
Okay.
you could park like a flivver in it.
You put
Yeah.
your.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
that's the idea. All right, so if we go to the house, let's start with the site plan. Here's the site plan of the house. Here's Toilsome is up here. Pretty much the same driveway entrance that's there now. There is two curb cuts in there. Parking across the front. We're putting the garage back here. Here is the proposed house with a covered porch overlooking the pool, and we're trying to tie in the pool with the accessory structured pool pavilion. It's a unique shaped lot in that it's got this like really long section here, which is really, really nice because it gives just beautiful views from the pool back to the house and from the house to the pool. And Dean, when he presents his landscape, you'll see what a great job he did at preserving what's there and adding on to it.
Well, there's this gorgeous giant cherry tree that's on center of the pool almost in the back of the property.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go to the elevations just to give you an idea. What I wanted to do is create, you guys know my architecture. I like houses to look like they've always been there, that this was probably one of the original houses on Toilsome. It's very simple, it's very classic. It is very heavily screened from the street, so you get glimpses of it. It's just going to be shingled with shingled roof and white trim. It's quiet, and I wanted it to be quiet. There are a lot of houses on Toilsome that have been torn down, and what was replaced, I don't really think is all that great. There's a lot of houses that the massing's bad, they don't sit well, a little too modern, and I just wanted this to sort of take us back to the original Toilsome. So that's the idea for the front of the house. The rear of the house, there is a covered porch here, and then this will be the best way to show you what's happening. That's the whole idea. It's heavily screened from the street. You get a glimpse of it from the entrance, and it's just a house that you would think, when was that built? And then the rear of it, you get a sense of how the property can really lay out with the pool. And here's that accessory structure. You can see we're turning it into a pavilion, adding some brackets, but preserving the structure with the original roof line, which is kind of cool. Okay. Dean, do you want me to pull your stuff?
I want you to talk about that huge balcony on the second floor.
The huge balcony?
I'm kidding.
And the metal roof.
We're so used to every house
On the
having a huge
rear.
balcony on the second floor
On the rear.
that I just thought I'd point that out. Now, you did lie to Susan. I do see standing seam roof.
I did mean the rear, I mean not the front.
Are
You know, this is a low-pitched roof.
chickens and cows under there?
I would
so-
suggest you make that copper.
Yeah.
It is, it's lead-coated copper, which is consistent with the age of an original house on the street.
Oh, well, at least it's,
It's a real material.
Lead-coated
It's a real material.
Yeah.
it just kills
Okay.
me. Okay.
But Brian, what I would tell you is on the face of it, it looks like a Bryan house. It looks like it's this is my opinion, we'll pull the board. It looks like it's appropriate for the site, it's appropriate to the street.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like a typical house of a period that's right for the street. So from that standpoint, it's your good work, but
I
other
agree.
people.
This is
Yeah.
exactly why I wanted to work with Brian on this.
Yeah, he does this well. So why don't we get the report from Zach, and then we'll see everybody again in September, and we'll see what Zach has to say. We'll get the report out to you, and then you guys can read it, and Brian, you guys can come back and just tell if there's anything in it you disagree with.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Pete, you okay? Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we've covered everything we can today, right?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Great.
Appreciate
with
your
that-
time. Thank you.
No, thank you,
Thank
actually.
you.
Thank you.
So with that, I'm going to motion to adjourn, to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 130 Toilsome Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And with that, I'm going to close the August 11th meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architecture, Review, and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.